So I was ready to record. I don't think this t-shirt's going to work. Give me a second. There we go. I found a jacket. The worst thing is, oh, you can't even see. The t-shirt's yellow. It's not even green. So welcome to the start of the 2048 season. My name is Paul, also known as the Northman. Not a very professional YouTuber, as you can see by the fact that I started recording with a t-shirt which was transparent. So, new season, new ideas, same crap. We're going to look at the transfers and discuss the squad. So, Sinani has gone out on loan again to Vikingur, continue his development there. Ian Watson, we've sent out on loan Excelsior. We're getting about 200k a month. Plus there's an agreed sale of 2 million. So there's going to be a bit of profit in him. Obviously came in on a free. Orlando's gone out on loan again to Lillestrøm this time to get some more football. And Silva, our young central defender, who we'd only just brought in, has gone on loan to Gothenburg as well. So going to get some football there. We'll look at him on the ins. So in terms of the ins, a few of these ins are with the sole idea of moving on for profit. So Hector, we're going to call, 22 years old, central defender stroke right back. He's set in at our B team at the minute. We paid nothing for him. He's valued at just under 3 million. He's unhappy because we left him out of the Champions League squad. It wasn't going to be in it. But he's not a bad player. If he gets rid of being unhappy, there's a chance next year he could be in around the first team. No reason why not. If not, coming in on a free transfer, there's always a possibility to make some profit on him. Silva came in on a free transfer as well. 23-year-old Brazilian. Going out on loan to Gothenburg is going to be great for the season because I do think that means at the end of the season we could make some big profit on him. This is a sign who actually want long-term in the team. Godfrey. We're going to call him Godfrey. In fact, let's just quickly... miscellaneous. Set nickname. Let's remove his last name because I can't say it. So, Godfrey is a right winger. He cost us 4 million, 18 years old. I think there's a lot of potential there. I honestly do. I think a couple of years in and out the team, I think he could develop into a good player. Another player with a lot of potential, model citizen personality, is Kimbler, who is an English winger who we paid 2.5 million from Charlton. He can play both flanks, attacking mid or striker. And with that personality, I'm very interested to see how he can develop. Going to be in our under-18s this season, and we will keep a close eye on him. And finally, for 12.25 million from Inter Milan, the big money signing to replace Gonzalez at the minute in defensive mid. And I think this guy, Georges-Andre Richel Schelmeland, yeah. Richel Schelmeland. On Georges-Andre Richel Schelmeland. What a mouthful. But very, very talented. 5'9", so not the tallest defensive mid. But in terms of a player, very, very talented player. 12.25 million from Inter Milan. I think it's a very, very good bit of business and still only 20 years old. So going into the season then, a few things to point out. Sterler's contract is up at the end of the season and nobody wants him. Nobody. Now, my plan was offer him out to clubs and then set the transfer date for either mid or end of the season. Just cashing for 4 million, just for a little bit of money. So we don't lose him for nothing at all. But nobody wants him. I think we're going to end up losing him on a free transfer, which is very upsetting. We do have an unhappy Otterson because he wants to play in a better division. I do understand that. One thing to mention is Jean Carlos Tejeda, the English stroke Barbados. It was Bermudan, Barbados, Panama. Come on. Right back now is available to play for the first team. Alongside Michael Meng, Mark Watson and Kielstrup is looking like our defensive line for this season. Georges-Andre Richel Shemeland is going to be the defensive mid with Sterling centre mid. Then we have Hjelle on the right wing, who I do still think has a lot of potential. Part of me wants to see what he would be like in attacking mid, so we are training him in that position now. If we can improve his passing with his dribbling and finishing, etc., he could be very good in that position. Mishan in attacking mid again, 211 league games for the club now, 12th season at the club, 32 years old, just turned. So throughout this season he will be 32. I do think he has a lot of potential. I mean, he has a lot of potential to do good for us this season. 16 is starting on the left wing in this game due to an injury to Midskogen. Again, a player who, with the flair, etc., I think could be a good player. Good free kick taking as well. So, again, maybe could be influential at times for us. Weirdly, we were training him as a left winger. Why has that disappeared? So let's just put that back on. And then Mufasa up top. The biggest issue with Mufasa at the minute is every time I try to fix a new contract, he wants a $6.5 million release fee. I don't want to put that in. But at the same time, I can't suggest he sacks his agent at the minute. So I do have a feeling in the next 12 months we might have to let him go just to make sure we don't lose him on a free. I do think, yeah, there is a 3-year extension. Okay, so we can potentially just hold on to him. And if his value goes up, then the agent will ask for a higher release fee, which is going to be nice. Tati is back after a couple of years on loan. He's a very, very talented goalkeeper. But he's a foreign player, and I don't want to use a foreign player slot on a goalkeeper. So we are trying to cash in on him. We only paid 200k for him. I've said I would like to sell him for 3.5 million, which is a bit of profit. Very nice. Worth it for a goalkeeper that standard. But at the minute, no clubs want him. Henriksen still on the bench, coming in 23 years old now, coming into his 6th season with us. But again, another player who, because he's playing for us, isn't gaining the Faroe Islands national status, which is very annoying. Thorsby, come up from the B team into the first team this season, will get some game time in attack and mid-stroke centre mid. Solheim, aged 31 now, turns 32 near the end of the season. This is his final year at the club. Godfrey we've already looked at. And Arneson, who we looked at in the last episode, a new signing to give some depth in that attacking midfield position. I think he's a very talented player. 29 years old, 2-year contract, cost us nothing. I think it was a good signing. Lidl Skara, got another year left, 32 years old now, turns 33 in 2 months. Contract runs till the end of next season when he will be 34, nearly 35. So at that point, I do think we will probably end up just letting him go. We do have Lervig, who is currently injured, but is the Faroe Islands national team main goalkeeper now, and probably will be our backup goalkeeper this season if we do sell Tati. And then we have Millenstad. Hansen is still in around the club. He's still only 21. It feels like he's been around for a while. He's been with us for 4 years. He's a decent defensive mid. 100%. So, is going to be in and around. Nylander, by the way, has now become a citizen and accepted the call up to the national team. So, Nylander will be capped for the Faroe Islands as right back this season, which is nice because we were missing a right back. So, I'm really pleased with that one. Jacobson is still wanted by a few clubs, but is a good backup left back for us. So, I'm going to keep rejecting. Surnes, who again has come up from our B team last season, will get some football this year in probably central mid over attacking mid, but we'll have to see how he does when he gets on the pitch. Gongora, aged 20 years old now, has been with us for his 3rd season. Still hasn't cemented a spot, still hasn't done insanely amazing for us, but I like him as an option in and around rotating in this squad. Then finally we have Hansen, who is our young left winger, 18 years old now, came to the academy a couple of years ago. And then we obviously have Andre Midskogen, who is 32, turns 33 near the end of this season, and is just an absolute legend of this save, I would say. He's been with us since 2034, so this is now his 14th season after coming for 1.6 million from Stabæk. I mean, double figures in goals and assists since 2042 in the league, which is just insane. But not a lot of changes going into this first game. Only the defensive mid acquisition is the only starting 11 player who's going to be starting in this game, which is very nice to see. Financially, we had 189 million, 11 million in the red for this season so far. FFP-wise, projected for the period is 108 million in profit, which is very nice. 11 million in the red, but in a couple of months we get the Champions League games, so hopefully that will cover the expenditure, and we will go into profit for this season as well. Last season was nearly 100 million in profit, but you've looked at the squad leading into the season. You've looked at our signings, but how did we do in the Champions League, the last couple of league games we had in that competition? So the opening game after the winter break was a 5-0 defeat to Cologne, with our old player McDowell getting a hat-trick, which, not gonna lie, hurt a little bit in here. But that was followed up with a 1-1, very spirited, very fighty draw against Real Betis, and that did secure us a 23rd place finish, which saw us go into the knockout rounds, where we would come up against no, it wasn't Barcelona, it was Blackburn of England. I mean, you've got Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, Blackburn, Arsenal, Liverpool. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. England have 2, 3, 4. England have... That can't be right. They have 6 places in the Champions League now. 4 this way. Rules. So there's 4 into the group stage. So then they must have won the Champions League the year before. And... yeah, Newcastle... No, Barcelona... Can't work it out. I can't work it out. But in the first leg against Blackburn, we got 2-2 draw at home. Mufasa with 2 goals in that game. We did the best we could. Blackburn are a step above us. They are very talented sides, not the Blackburn of 2023. And when we travelled to Ewood Park, we lost the game 3-1, unfortunately. Mufasa did get a goal again, so 3 games in this 2-legged competition. But unfortunately, we did go out in the knockout round. What I would mention, though, is Midskogen is top in the assist chart for the season. And Mufasa is the second top goal scorer behind this Van der Molen from PSG, who is a class above. And when you look at these type of players, you see how far away I feel from this. Like, that type of player, we've had a couple. I would say McDowell could develop into that type of player. We've ended up having to let them go because our league is not that standard. So it's very upsetting, but we're a long way off that level of player at the minute. Now, what I would say is, going through the pre-season and the games, I'm a bit concerned by the tactical setup, to be honest with you. I don't think we've looked even as close or as strong as we have in the past. I think going into the second half of this season, I would really like to add a new right back and a left back. I honestly feel like we're looking weak in them positions. And part of me is considering that as well, and having 2 defensive midfielders. But at the minute, I can't come up with a way to make that work. So bear with me. In the next episode will be the mid-season review. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and I will see you for the next video as I recap the first half of the season and hopefully have put together a tactic which I feel will do us the best in Europe as we look to get to the knockout stages of the Champions League again.